Hey everybody, back on again. This one won't be a long. This one won't be a long recording. Basically, just wanted to kind of go over the print portfolio since a lot of models are looking to try to, especially going into next year, looking to try to get their portfolios and everything else all put together, all done up. We basically want to just start targeting or start reaching out to people and giving them an opportunity to get in contact with us so we start working on their portfolio, the actual print portfolio, for their lookbook and all that good stuff. And then also their walk around. So the print portfolio one is basically the big book, the 9 by 12 or whatever the case might be. That's the big display one, right? And that's good. You don't have 1,000,001 pictures in it. You try to pick your very best pictures. You don't always have, you definitely don't want to have all those pictures coming from the same photographer. They have to be quality, print quality, meaning that when the pictures are done, it cannot be bleeds and all that kind of stuff. You don't want obvious brands, too obvious of brands like, logos and things like that shown in the pictures. You want to try to stay away from anything like that. You don't want to have, like some people like to do the mock photos and they'll put major brands in there. You don't want to put that stuff in there, right? Because you technically don't have the right to do it, so you don't do it. And plus, they're not paying you to do it. The big book is good because right now, going to the end of the year, you should be planning going into next year to build up that portfolio. So it's not something that you can do overnight. It's wiser to put the right images, definitely a good clean, um, uh, very personality feel headshot, and then you can start putting your looks and stuff in there. But again, it has to be print quality, very good. So the print paper should be very good paper, not paper, but print, photo paper. It can't be a bunch of pictures where it's bleeding on the edges. It needs to be a good, clean picture that fits appropriately in the binder. So if you have a 9 by 12, that means you need a 9 by 5, 12 by 5 um, folder. That's a nice quality as well. It can be a nice leather one. It can be, basically it's a portfolio book. So it has to be high quality. It can't be a folder and stuff like that. So it has to be something that really, has a good feel to it, good presentation to it, doesn't look cheap and whatever. So the pictures, on the other hand, need to be very high quality. And then you have your walk around. The walk around could be like 6 by 9s. Same, it can basically be a duplicate of the actual big book. So the walk around is something that you kind of carry. You may have it in your purse, or you may have it on just for just quick presentation. It's not bulky, it's not too big, or whatever. And then again, initially probably have no more than 12 images on both. And then with you starting it now, what we're going to do is do a pre thing. And the pre-packaged basis is going to have the good clean headshots, which we'll have to take the time to look and get, and then it'll have 2 outfit changes so they can see more of your pose and personality and all that. But again, not duplicate, not a bunch of duplicate pictures and all that kind of stuff. It definitely will need to be just key pictures, and then um, outside of that, you'll need to start focusing on your business cards and the comp cards and stuff like that, because you need those. You don't really want to go into next year without that in mind, because you're going to be shopping yourself and doing things like that. So you want to make sure that you're focused on doing that, because if you're not focused on doing that, then what's happening is that you're going to be stuck with a bunch of stuff that you have online or whatever, and a lot of professionals are not going to be going online. And then when you're out networking, you're not going to have a real opportunity to be able to show what you look like personality-wise on the print. So you definitely want to make sure you start working on that. Now, technically, spring is going to be around the corner. Well, not technically, it's going to be right around the corner. So if you can get those things all done and starting in December, then you'll have a real good book. And then sometimes you're going to change out pictures. You may have a picture here that was perfect then you switch it out. But you have no more than 12 pictures for a model. Now for the designers, same deal. A lot of the designers are taking a bunch of pictures with their clothes, but they're not really focused on having a good lookbook. So a good lookbook for a designer is front, side, and back. And the focus is not really on the model, is on the clothes. So catching the details, close-up shots, stuff like that. So if they have a line that they're trying to present, or if they have several lines or several pieces or main pieces from that line, they need to have that. And then that's the same thing. Same thing with a hairstylist. They need to have good angle shots, for the hair, depending on how the hairstyle is done. A good front, side, back, just so that you can see who a client or whatever can actually see what you did. And again, it's not about the model per se, but it needs to be a quality person that's being shot. And then depending on what you're doing as a hairstylist, it needs to be a variety of, you should have a variety of people that you've done the hair for, because women have different textures of hair, different styles or whatever. You have different ethnicities and all that, so you have to make sure you have that as a hairstylist. The makeup artist, same deal. You should show diversity in your book, in your print book, because this is how it's going to look when it's in print. So that needs to be in there. So we're going to be working with everyone to actually do that. So the main thing is, if you are a model or a designer or a makeup artist, hairstylist, I guarantee most of you don't have good quality print books where the images looks, that they look like they're supposed to look. They're not pixelating. They're appropriate size. They're not overcolored. Everything is color balanced properly. They've got good coverage on it. So it's got to be done properly, and that's what takes so much time to do it. And then once you do get the book together, you can kind of, again, interchange the pictures. So no matter what area you are, you need to have a print portfolio book, one to walk around, and then one the 9x12. So that's going to be good. So a lot of the models or hairstylists, makeup artists, and whatever, we're going to ask you guys to, contact us so that you can start working on that ASAP. So this month, this week, next week, and I think the week after that, we're going to be focused on getting a list of individuals to begin doing that. So if you're really serious about, getting your lookbook and all that together, you definitely want to do this. Outside of that, that's really it. I mean, I really didn't want to be on here long because the point of the matter is getting your print portfolio book. So we're going to do a lot of promotion on this starting tonight, and pushing it out there, but emphasizing that you need to have that. So if you're serious about your presentation, if you're serious about your business and whatever, and you don't have an actual lookbook or print lookbook, then you're not serious. You're just playing around. You just got a social media, Facebook and all that, and Instagram, but you're trying to professionally present your stuff. What if your client is not on Facebook or Instagram? Or what if you're at a business and you want to show your work? And what if you're at anywhere and you really want to show your quality? You want to show quality work, and you can't show quality work by grabbing your phone and saying, "Look at my picture here or there." You want to have a print book, and people want to see what the product is going to look like once the camera hits, right? And then also the people that are used, or people who are doing their print book and their model thing or whatever models used, the hair must be right and exact, because it's going to tell it all. The shot with the hair needs to be done to a point where there's no Photoshop to it. So literally, it must be immaculate. No Photoshop to the hair. No Photoshop to the makeup. No Photoshop to the clothes. You should be able to capture, in true essence, what you have there. And that takes time to get those shots very right and precise, but that's the real deal. So if you're not confident in your design or your makeup or your hair work or your model look, then don't do a print book and stop modeling, stop designing, stop doing makeup, stop doing hair. Because this is the time when you get serious. You're going to 2019, and this is why I said, stop waiting until some New Year's resolution. You need to start doing stuff now. New Year's resolution is a bunch of garbage. You should be, whatever you made up in your mind that you're going to do, just start doing it now. You wait and put stuff off, and then that's why a lot of times 3 months into the year, people fall off their New Year's resolution because it's just some gimmick they sold themselves on. You start doing your New Year's resolution right now so that you can be prepared, and you can add in and you can tweak and you can do all the different things you need to do to make it look better. So definitely contact us, because I guarantee you, and I challenge anyone, because if we're going to be hitting up models direct, designers direct, and all that, and I guarantee you, because I've been doing it long enough to know, most of you don't have a good, strong print portfolio book. You really don't, and you don't even know how to put it together for the majority of people, because they've been too locked in on doing the actual online. And for a designer, a lot of times, if you're trying to get your product into a boutique or whatever, you can't just walk them in there with your clothes. And you definitely, owner doesn't have time to be going online all the time. They're going to want to see the print book. They're going to want to see how the clothes look front, side, and back. Same thing with a makeup artist. Your client is going to want to see what it looks like front. You know, a lot of people don't want a bunch of Photoshop on their picture. They really don't. So that means the makeup has to be immaculate. The hair needs to be immaculate. The clothes need to be on point, everything. So you're gonna kind of be stuck with really doing really professional work and really representing yourself very, very, professional. And if you don't, then truth be told, people are gonna be very distracted in your work and not really use you. And you models, not models, but you hairstyles and makeup artists, they wanna get a lot of makeup work with brides and weddings and more commercial end, more high end. Having a good lookbook, a print lookbook, is a seller. It really sells. It really sells, because you can't beat that, because most of the brides are not trying to just throw their pictures online. They're trying to get prints. So if they see your work in print already, you just sold them. Half your job is done. Same thing with a designer. If you're designing clothes for a client, or you want to get someone as a client, or you're at a trade show or whatever, they can grab your lookbook and you're like, hey, these are unedited, these are good flows, this is a good flow of my fabric, my clothes. They don't see strings hanging off the clothes. You know you've taken the extreme detail to making sure those clothes look right and exact. And the same thing for a model. The model, same deal. You know, you go to an agency, you show me an agency book, or you go and you're out networking at an event, and maybe you don't have your comp card, maybe you do have your comp card, but you want to walk them through your book and just say, hey, here's my walk around book, boom. Or you're out networking or whatever, or you meet people, or just random people that you know. You want to do that. So the main thing is contact us, because we will be contacting people too. If we see that you have a model, first thing you see you modeling, or you're a designer or makeup artist or hairstyle, the first question we're going to ask, do you have a print portfolio book? Most people will turn around and say, I'm planning on doing it. I'm gonna get one together, or I got one. And then when you challenge them on it, they really don't have none of that stuff. They don't have none of that jive, So the reality of it is that be true to yourself. And we're making it very affordable for you to do it, but you have to make sure that you're investing in your product, because you want people to invest in you and pay for your services. So why don't you invest in yourself, so that the quality of what you present shows that you are very, got skin in the game, and you're very concerned about the quality that they're going to get. Print portfolio, very clean, almost shot to almost perfection, where there's no need to do all that extra photoshopping and all that kind of job. That's it. So other than that, share this video. If you know some, if you get those different groups you belong to, and there's designers and makeup artists and hairstylists and whatever, send this video out to them. They can contact us, and we'll take it from there. All right. Thank you very much. Enjoy. And also, you can check out M Cover magazine. So all that information is above.